There is a moment just before dawn when the world feels half real, half imagined. Mist hangs low over the land, and shapes begin to move inside it. If you were standing on an ancient pasture thousands of years ago, you might have seen something strange, something that almost looks like a wolf. But it's not quite one. It walks differently. It pauses longer. It watches you back. And yet, it protects the very animals a wolf would normally hunt. This is where the mystery begins. Across the mountains of Central Asia, Anatolia, and Caucasus, and the other ancient pastoral regions, humans formed one of the oldest partnerships in history with livestock guardian dogs. These were not pets. They were companions in the modern sense. They were living barriers between life and death for entire flocks. But here is the strange part. The deeper you look at these dogs, the more something unsettling appears. They don't just guard against wolves. In many ways, they become them. Now, that might sound poetic at first, but biologically and behaviorally, there is something very real happening here. Let's start with movement. Livestock guardian dogs, ancient breeds like Kangals, Caucasian Shepherds, and other Aboriginal types don't move like typical domestic dogs. Their gait is slow, deliberate, and heavy when needed, but suddenly explosive when danger appears. They conserve energy, scanning constantly, almost like they are calculating invisible patterns in the landscape. And honestly, if you've ever seen one just standing on a hill at dusk, you know what I mean. They don't look relaxed, they look aware. Now compare that to wolves. Wolves are not chaotic predators. There is a common misconception. In reality, they are highly efficient, energy-saving hunters. Every step is optimized, every pause is intentional. They move like a system, not an animal. And surprisingly, guardian dogs mirror this. But not because they learned from wolves directly in a simple sense. It's something deeper. It's ecological pressure. For thousands of years, in regions where wolves and livestock overlapped, survival depended on understanding one thing. You cannot fight what you don't understand. So these dogs evolved under constant selection pressure. The one that could anticipate wolf behavior survived. The ones that could intimidate wolves survived even more. And the ones that could physically and psychologically mirror aspects of wolf presence survived best of all. It's almost like nature was shaping a living counter strategy, a shadow designed specifically to stand against another shadow. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Wolves rely heavily on psychological dominance. Before an attack even happens, they assess, they test boundaries, they look for hesitation. Aboriginal guardian dogs counter this not with chaos, but with controlled presence. They stand their ground in silence. No unnecessary movement, no panic signals, just stillness mixed with readiness. And this creates something wolves don't expect: uncertainty. And in the wild, uncertainty is dangerous for both sides. There are recorded observations where wolves approach flocks guarded by large livestock dogs, only to hesitate longer than expected. Not because they are afraid in human sense, but because the signal reading becomes unclear. Is this prey? Is this competitor? Is this another pack? This confusion matters because in nature, hesitation can cost energy, injury, or life. Now the question that keeps coming up is this: why do these dogs resemble wolves so much in structure and behavior? Part of it is shared ancestry. Dogs and wolves split relatively recently in evolutionary terms. So the foundation is similar: muscle structure, jaw strength, endurance capacity. But that alone does not explain the behavioral convergence. This is where domestication becomes unusual. Unlike modern selective breeding, ancient livestock guardian dogs were not bred for appearance or obedience traits. They were selected for functional survival traits in extreme environments. Traits like independence, territorial intelligence, and threat assessment. In civil terms, humans did not fully control them. They co-evolved with the landscape, with predators, with seasons, with silence, and over time a kind of biological role specialization emerged. Wolves became the hunters, dogs became different, and in that role, mimicry became power. There's something philosophical here, is not there? Two candidates shaped by the same environment, forced into opposite roles, one to hunt and one to prevent hunting, yet both end up speaking the same language of posture, movement, and presence. Sometimes I think if you watch them long enough, you wouldn't be able to tell which one nature designed first for the job. Now imagine a winter night in the mountains, snow falling lightly, sheep pressed together for warmth, and on the edge of the flock a single guardian dog standing still. In the distance, wolves. No noise, just tension in the air, and between them a silent conversation made entirely of body language, distance, and timing. No attack yet, only assessment, only balance. This is the shadow in the mist, not because these dogs are wolves, but because they learn to move like the thing they oppose in order to control it. And maybe that is the most fascinating part of all. Nature does not always separate predator and protector cleanly. Sometimes it builds them from the same blueprint, just written in different intentions. So next time you see an Aboriginal livestock guardian dog standing on a hillside watching the horizon without blinking too much, just remember, it's not just a dog guarding sheep. It's an ancient system of survival still running in the wild that has mostly forgotten how it was built. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more untold stories of nature's most mysterious guardians.